Hello everyone. My son Jude and Diz. Diz is coming behind me. Jude! Yeah, so I didn't film a video yesterday because it rained all day. And did you lose us, Judith? And yeah, the puppies were wrecked because they did a walk and puppy class. And then Nala and Jude are pretty tired because they did 2 walks. Yeah, so I just didn't film. So yeah, puppy class went well. There was like more to do in puppy class than in ring training, and Aria settled a lot better. Also, it was quieter, like there's a couple of dogs barking but not many, which I think helped her. So yeah, she was really good actually. I was really pleased. And Dad's trotting across. Diz making her way. And Aria. So yeah, a few things to work on and practice that I think will really help her. And number one, and it sounds really obvious, is rewarding her for paying attention to you. Which is really stupid and obvious, isn't it? So like, yeah, the plan is to take her on her own to Ringcraft this next week. It's Sunday today, I mean. Sorry, I didn't want to jump off the gate because it's all puddles. Yeah, so I'm taking her on her own to Ringcraft next week. Because Pod was just like Mr. Cool, like he's always been doing it. God, my film is on point today, isn't it? Come on guys, we're going this way. So yeah, I'm gonna like do that, put that into practice, where she was really distracted this week. She's something so annoyingly simple. But obviously like put it into practice here as well. You know, the rest of the stuff, like she's good with sit, down, stand. We were working a little bit on place training, which she had started with me, but it was just on a piece of vet bed rather than the raised bed that I use at home. But yeah, it was good. And Pod was good. I don't really need to like have a speech about Pod because he's just like, yeah, okay, I'm cool, mum, I do it. Yeah, what you see with Pod is what you get. Like, he's not different to take him anywhere. You know, if he's not going to pay attention for something, he wouldn't pay attention whether he's at home or away from home. If he's going to get distracted by something, he'll get distracted. And all you got to do with Pod is have a bit of food, and then he's like, oh, hello, hi, your friend. So yeah, anyway, it was good. And I'm not sure we were like meant to be going to the beach today. But I think there's rain coming in this afternoon, so I'm not quite sure if we're going or not. So this video might end up having to be uploaded really quickly, so I can include footage. I can film new footage at the beach, or it'll be a really long video because I'll have the beach footage at the end. Or I might be really mean and not really film. I might take a couple of pictures and not do much else. I don't know. Yeah, I got everything in. I've bought everything in for the puppies. Waiting on like the wormers to arrive. And I know really it was like 4.5 weeks, something like that, till they actually gonna need worming. But I like to be prepared. And actually, as this is shown, it's taken like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days already and it's still not arrived. Nice mover, are ya? Aria's a good girl. You're gonna get your brother. the other morning as well. I shouldn't confess to this. But basically the way it always works is I wake up and the girls get up with me, but Dudley always stays in bed. So the dogs that get up and I'm out for a wee, they come back in. And then eventually when Dudley gets out of bed, he goes out, and he usually goes out with the puppies. So I let him out, shut the door, started doing a few bits, and I thought, God, they've been a long time, and it was like over 10 minutes. And normally, you know, they go for a wee or whatever, they follow Duds, but then they come back to, he's going to poop, so I'm going to not show you Dudley pooping. Then they just come back to the door and I let him in. And we get on with what we normally do in the morning, but they hadn't returned. So I was already dressed, luckily. Oh God, I'm not showing Dudley pooping, and then I'm showing Nala pooping. So anyway, went out with the whistle and all the other dogs, calling them, no sign, calling them, no sign. And see that path that's like the other side of the fence? They all came flying down there and then flying across that thing, that trackway between these two fields. And like, oh my God, really fast. Like Aria was in front of Dudley, because I think they'd followed Dudley and then they got frightened that they weren't with us, and they heard us calling, and then they came. And like, I've never seen Pod run so fast. But anyway, since they've done that, Pod's like realised he's got another gear, he can run faster, because he's always been lollopy lumbering type of stride, you know, but he can actually be quite fast now. But yeah, Aria was faster than Duds. But yeah, I've always known that about Duds. Like, if another dog will go with him, sorry about the wind noise, by the way, but yeah, if another dog will go with him, he will go, like he will wander, but he's not brave enough to go on his own. So I'm just gonna have to watch that him and Pod don't team up, especially when Pod gets a bit older. He starts feeling his oats, so to speak. Des, shall we show YouTube how fat you are? Are you fat, Des? Are you fat? Are you fat? You're gonna smile. You smile for YouTube, you. Des. You're gonna smile, go. Yeah, if you blow on Disney's nose, she'll smile. But yeah, she's getting chunkier. It's almost like this angle, and you realise like the belly's coming. Ah! Well, Aria, don't run into the back of her. I think it frightened her more than anything, Aria running into the back of her then. You tit, Aria. So yeah, yesterday in all the horrible weather, the puppies obviously went out. But when they went out, they were like playing in the puddle. There's like, you know, the big puddle on the yard, and we get a lot of rain. They were like doing zoomies in there, and then we have like a little bit of what we call jokingly a water feature. And it's like a mini fountain kind of thing, the way it works in there. They were trying to eat that, put their paws in that, play in that. So they ended up wearing their drying coats 3 times yesterday because they were coming in so wet. So yeah, I'm really glad I got those drying coats for them, to be honest, because I would have gone through so many towels just keeping them dry. The other dogs are way more sensible, like they go out for just long enough to have a wee and then they go in again. But yeah, I think I've actually got 2 Dalmatians that don't mind going out in the rain, and I've never had that before. So yeah, and I just looked at the time and I've waffled on for like nearly 10 minutes. So yeah, 2.5 weeks to go. I got my COVID jab Wednesday. So you might be a video short next week. If I get a reaction, I hope I don't, because there's too much to do. Too much to do, and it is, it is. Aria's got the big bottom. She's got a big Jam. And then the other thing I started doing as well is because Aria, sounds silly, but Aria's like more bonded to Pod than Pod is to Aria. He's just Mr. Cool, isn't he? Whereas Aria looks to him for a lot of comfort and security. So I split them up at night, and Aria comes to bed because I could have taken Pod to bed and left Aria downstairs for Lily and Diz. But then I think she'd latch on to Lily and Diz for her comfort, whereas if she comes to bed with me and she spends the night with me, hopefully she'll look to me more. It was funny in puppy class, you could see her looking between the two of us, me and Pod, like who to go to. And I don't want that to be a question, she should come to me. So yeah, Aria now comes to bed, which I gotta say, she don't mind. She sleeps under the duvet with the other girls, and I have even less room than I did before, but it works, doesn't it, Def? Oh, Judy Def. The only trouble is she wants to sleep when Nala sleeps, and then Nala's like, excuse me, I sleep here. So I do end up being woken up a couple of times a night by Nala's tapping my shoulder because Aria's nicked her spot. Yeah. So then I got to try and just roll Aria over, and then Nala can squeeze in between us. Because in all fairness to Nala, she's come to bed and slept there every night of her life since I've had her. So yeah. Anyway, I have waffled on now for 12 minutes. So yeah, I shall see you all soon. Bye.